welcome back. To make this brief, I have been exploring these worlds that I left myself on, having surveyed them in the last video, and I have renamed them as here. And the short version is, I believe I am going to make my first hyperjump. The reason is that although I have been able to go back to one of these worlds, now named Rumazuka Zub, and am making pretty good progress at getting a new ship, getting my antimatter, exploring some ruins, and building up my language base, it is not fun. I'm not enjoying my. I mean, it's the least harsh world in this system, but it is still a relatively harsh world, and I am really drawn. I've been spoiled by Kaina Dren. I should pick up that slot, shouldn't I? I've been spoiled by Kaina Dren, and if I'm going to be spending a bunch of time gathering the lore for a Korvax system, which is what I want to do, I want to enjoy my time there. This world is, I mean, it's not as much of an inferno as some I've been on, but it is hard time, and I've decided I want to try to find a gentler world, so I'm going to try to make a jump. Now I have a couple of goals with this jump. First of all, I should say I have saved this world and this state to flash drive, and I absolutely fully intend that if in the system I jump to I do not find a better situation, or at least one world that I want to explore more fully, and if that system is not a Korvax system, which is what I want to be exploring, I will restore this save and back up to where I am now. And I guess just continue here for the time being. Man, getting deer here. This is kind of the edge of it. Alright. But if this works and I do find a better situation in the next system, my next task will be to be able to find my way back to this system. I've heard a few things. I've heard that it is... I should actually make a note in my log as to what today's date is. I think it's the 2nd. Friday, September 2nd. I've heard a few things. One thing I've heard is that the Sentinels almost instantly become more aggressive in systems once you've made a jump. And that would dissatisfy me as well. I mean, I want a world to explore in which the Sentinels are relatively, essentially leave me alone as much as possible. Let me write down the date here. Second thing I've heard is it is notoriously difficult to find your way back to your starting system. That's something I want to solve and fix. At least find some solutions to. I've heard a few clever ideas for dealing with it. One that won't work while I'm recording, although it may work for searching my way back, is to disconnect yourself from the internet when you do your sort of system search, because you won't be able to pick up any systems from the internet. You'll only be able to pick up ones that you've already discovered, which would leave you with the one you were just in. The other thing I want to do is to jump to a very, very nearby star. I don't want to go far from where I am. A couple of reasons for that. One is to make it a little bit easier to find my way back, even though, from what I've heard, they really do try and erase your tracks going backwards. And the second is, since I'm trying to stay, I have no idea how the spaces work in the sense of, are you in a region of space that is Gek-controlled space, or Viking-controlled space, or Korvax-controlled space? I want to be in a Korvax system, and I have no, my instinct would tell me that the further I jump, the more likely I am to find myself in the system of a different species. So, so I am, bearing all that in mind, I am going to fuel up my drive, get myself into orbit, and jump. And here we're getting just a little last look at the landscape of Zumazuka Zub. And it is, very interesting in certain ways. One of my favorite things to do now is to fly down these little canyons when I can. Still a little tricky to do. But it's barren, it's hot, it's loud. It's just made me a little blue. And I've realized that exploring Kaina Dren has been, really inspired me to keep exploring. And it's hard to keep my sort of spirits up in my, I mean, if I'm going to be spending a bunch of time on a world exploring the lore, which is the goal, then I don't want to be, depressed while I'm there. So we're going to see what jumping does for my prospects in that regard. It may make things more difficult. I'm going to find out. And I decided to go ahead and podcast it and record it, so I'd have it saved. It's ironic that my first jump is happening from an alt, not from my main character who's safe and sound on a save on Kaina Dren. I'm actually currently sitting at a ship crash site where I found one of the ships I am interested, my sort of second most loved ship in that system. Anyway, let's go ahead and get set up and see what happens. This is new for me, so we will see how it goes. See how much it sort of leads me. Alright, this should be pretty straightforward. I suspect this is going to put itself, either replace that chunk of antimatter or place itself in my suit. Let's find out. Ah, of course. Of course. Okay. Haha, there you go. Warp cell. Alright. Okay. Leave the planet, fly Starship into space, hold R2 to accelerate. Well, that's easy. Fly up using blah to exit the atmosphere. Okay. So, get myself into space, they say. Aha! Let's go ahead. I am going to save this screenshot, so I'm going to pardon the blue screen at the moment. Can help myself with that one. Okay. Thamium, pretty good. I'll do just a little bit of thamium mining, and we're going to see what we can see. And as I say, if I come back to Zumazuka Zub, if I find that this new system is not, doesn't hold out any better prospects, etc., I will almost certainly come back. I may just do so by restoring my save. Oh, I don't want to accidentally shoot one of these guys. That would be a bummer. Pretty, misty. Yeesh. There you go. I'm a little excited. I actually have more trepidation than anything else. I don't want to deal with the Sentinels. I just want to explore a world that I can spend some time on, but I need to do this, so we will see how it goes. And honestly, I was a little discouraged by my scouting of this system. I know I was a little bit spoiled by the first system that I discovered. Where Kainad Dren is, and you don't realize that until you kind of branch out and you explore more, and you just see, it's trickier. I think I can go ahead and just fill that with Thanium-9. It's a useful backup fuel. But as I scouted this system, I mean, every planet was, in most cases, deeply antagonistic, hard worlds. And it just reminded me, space is not sort of one of the lessons of the game. Space is not necessarily a bright, shiny, friendly place. And planets that are beautiful garden worlds are a little rare. Probably very rare, actually. And probably far more rare than the game would suggest. We know that rocky worlds are more common, than we might have thought, but ones with, probably most of the difficult worlds and the harsh worlds we're running into here are nothing compared to the reality out there. That, a world like Venus is probably much more the norm, and, that's a pretty Earth-like world in its way. Alright. Enough of this. Okay, so, here I am, up in space. Do I need to go to the space station? I really don't know. Tell you what, let's take a look at my controls. I'm looking for galactic map. Aha! Okay. Alright, wow, okay. This is interesting. So let's take one last look around the system, such as it is here. See if I can find... So this down here is Zuma Zuka Zub. Not coming up because I'm still too close. The world I started on... This may be a fool's errand and not worth messing with. Ikibi. I started on Ikibi, ST574, as I've named it now. Made my way to Ulvinga, which is where I found monoliths that currently are not visible, interestingly enough. I'm quite positive they were near the poles. It was a portal monolith, actually. That's very weird. My hope or guess is that when a marker is behind the planet's side, it disappears. Otherwise, I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to worry about it for now. And Tazerno, Ikibi Zub. Tazerno was a desert world, beautiful but filled with predators, large predators, megafauna. And over here we have, maybe, yes, Gyaruk Ikibi Zub. And the Ikibi Zub nomenclature is how I am describing, the hostility of the planet's environment and the hostility of the planet's creatures. That is a mud-bound planet with a fair number of predators, at least a few predators I can see. So, and with an environment that was out to kill me. So that did it for that. All right, let's do this. Let's check the map. Wow. Okay, region. Now, one thing we could do, it's interesting, it doesn't, because I named it. Tayami Guru Korvax. Of course I did, because that's, yes, okay. So presumably the orange, I'm not going to scan for discoveries at this point. I bet it's really easy to get disoriented and lost. And this is the first time I've seen this. So presumably the orange, aha. Now, see, wait, and wow, that thing just flies by. And that's back, but it flips my view around. Boy, oh boy, this thing really does want to just send you trucking. So, presumably, I do like how it centers and stays centered, though. Presumably, why is it zooming out? That makes no sense. Presumably, the orange path is towards the center of the galaxy. In fact, you can really see that that's the case. How interesting. Man, there are a lot. Wow. Okay. My approach has been, so this series is called The Outer Edge, which, and I see they have the distance, 180,000.85. Oh, there you go. Oh, cool. You can zoom in and zoom out. Okay, that's pretty cool. So I can get pretty close. Since this series is called The Outer Edge, I am interested in being further out, not closer in. 5 planets. Let's try something here. Oh, is it not going to let me do that? Oh, interesting. So I am currently pushing up towards that fellow just above me, and it is not letting me do so. So it seems only to want to let me go inwards, which is very, very interesting. Right. Select. I can zoom out. Oh, man. Yeah. Very easy to quickly be. Wow. Okay. It is interesting that it shows lines, but it just does not want me to go there, nor to any of those. So I have one choice, which is strange. All right, I'm gonna try, you know, something. I'm centered, so I'm not worried about losing it. I'm going to scan for discoveries, and that's going to download a bunch of stuff, presumably from the internet, and select nearest. Oh, interesting. What if I try that? Aha! Oh, yes. So, gateway. As we now see, we have a world discovered by someone else and named. And that is, I believe, because these worlds here on the outer edge are the starting worlds. So, you know, there are bound to be many that were discovered by others. Now, I want to get back to where I was. Oh, add waypoint. Presumably, you can kind of tag it. But before I even do that at all, I'm going to try to get back to where I was. Boy, if this doesn't let me, I wonder. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Okay, there we go. Now let's try rotating. And for you just joining, this is to be my first jump. I'm trying currently not to lose my home system. Okay, that is my home system, the one I named, the one I don't want to lose. What's interesting here is they do not give me an option to set a waypoint. So they really want you to lose your way back. Okay. I am trying to stay in Korvax space. 3 planets undiscovered, about the same distance, and that's doable. So my theory is if I stay relatively close to where I am, as close as I can. Let's see if I can get back to my home world. This is 85.3, and this one is Only 3 planets. I wonder what the class means. 83.3, so very, very close to where I was. Class F1P. Class F0F. I probably should be writing those down or looking up what they are. Let me actually make a note. Class. Class F0F. It would be good to be able to read those, understand what they mean. So the closest one is this fellow. Okay, that's it. Gateway, class F8, 2 planets, 2 moons. All right, see, and that's not what I wanted to do. I am going to get lost. Gateway. Yep. Dang it. I really don't want to lose my home system. How weird that it keeps jumping between, and now I'm somewhere else. Yep. I am absolutely going to lose my home system. Wow. What? Black hole, that's interesting. Huh. Presumably, that's interesting actually. It's pretty neat to have one so close by. Alright, I'm not going to give up here. I'm going to do this by the numbers. That is a black hole. Add waypoint. I really should do that. I'm going to try it. I don't know at this point, because this is the first time I've done this, what adding waypoints does. You know, does it, you know, make you, I'll tell you what, let's just try it. Okay, that's a waypoint. Now, black hole, okay. Wait, what's going on? So I can't warp there. Oh, good, and I am here. Warp unnecessary current location. Now, why can't, I'm going to try. See, I'm pressing and pressing. Cannot add a waypoint for where you are. How interesting. Okay, so, now what's weird is it's not letting me, you know, I obviously can't warp there, and it's made that clear, but I do at least have my home system. What's funny is now, since I can't warp there, it's not letting me do anything at all. So presumably, setting a waypoint is essentially like calling it your next target. I mean, presumably what you do is you set your waypoint and then you hit warp. So let's try select nearest again. And there's gateway. Good old blagger man. And that's not really where I want to go. So, good. How about this one? 3 planets, F3, undiscovered. That one, F2, F3 planets, 14 light years away. I keep going back to my current one because I just don't want to lose it. F1P. God, I wish I knew what those classifications meant. You know what? Going to do a bit of metagaming here and actually look that up. System classifications. Let's get back to home. Okay. F5. I mean, 5 planets is nice because, you know, 5 to 6 planets because you've got more opportunities to find something that's simpatico. Alright. No Man's Sky. Class system. Class. System class. Well, got a message board. Ah. Red, yellow, green. F is yellow. Boy, this is complex. Interesting. Alright, alright. Very interesting. So it does seem to have to do with the star color. And then there's also speculation that it has to do with the race, but that can't be because this is a Corvax system and it's class F, at least what they were saying. Let me zoom myself in again real close. Just kind of take a look around. Come on. I see. All right. I'm just going to rotate a bit. So this is going to be super boring for everyone but me, but my singular goal here is to not screw up. I want to be able to refine my system. I think it wants me to go to that one. This is a, whoops, okay. 5 planets, 1 moon. That's actually really nice. 7 light years away. See, what's funny to me is that has got to be closer than this gateway. Now, maybe they just wanted to send me to a named system. Nope. 3 planets. I do like 5 planets. That's farther away. 5 planets. What's the class? F6P. Hard to say. I think it's this one. Yep. 16 light years away. It is so funny. Alright, here's the deal. I am going... The other nice thing about this guy, I see a green one. It's kind of cool that you can clearly see the colors of the suns. This is neat. I can see, yeah, I can see the appeal. But, alright. So this one is close enough. 14, everything seems further away than this. So I am going to say that this is my, this is the one. 7.4 light years away, and I'm going to take notes on that. That's where I'm going to go. 5 planets, that's also hopeful. Now, Udayorixo band. Yes, okay. Same region, great. Wedioblista, that will surely change, but... Okay. So again, the big questions here. Make sure I put class. Also that it's the second world I'm heading to. Class. FP. F6P. Yeah, who knows? That you know, if you're gonna do clearly, one needs to figure out what the heck those classes mean to do this with any kind of certainty in where you're headed, or and maybe they're random or something. But that makes no sense. So, and it is 7.4 light years away from my home system. Now note that I'm trying to stay connected to my home system not because I mean, my home system has crummy worlds, in this case, in this particular save. Not because I want to get back there, but because I want to understand deeply how I go about getting back to worlds. So, 7.4. I wonder if a jump uses one charge, regardless of how far it is. Probably so. Nope. Oh, come on. Good. That was 3 planets, 14 light years. So presumably once I jump there, then I can set it as a waypoint. But a waypoint, I mean, you know, that up on the upper left is a black hole. Whoops. Ah, come on. To do. God, they really whip you around. They really don't want you staying oriented, do they? It's funny. See, and now I can't even link up to that black hole. That's okay, because that's not my goal. My goal is this guy here, nice and close. We're going to do it. All right. And I'll be curious to see whether the black hole waypoint goes away or whether it stays because it's a black hole. Ah, that is interesting. Yep. Okay. All right, we're gonna do it. We're going. Now, I wonder actually if I hit select nearest from here, is it going to send me back? Because it is nearer, 7.4 light years away, and it wants me to go to Gateway. So weird. That is so funny. I don't know if it's maybe like the nearest named world. I don't know. All right. 7.4 light years away. Let's do it. Okay, for the things I am going to be trying to learn, immediately get to the space station. And I probably should write these down too. New system. Is it Korvax? How hostile are the planets? Planetary hostility. In terms of the environment. Sentinel hostility, third. And what I am searching for is a Korvax system where I can find a relatively neutral world that I can explore and learn the lore on, the Korvax lore on, that isn't out to destroy me, because most of what I want to do is explore. All right, let's do it. First jump. I wonder if the time the jump takes has anything at all to do with the distance, 7.4 light years. Like, how long does that take? It should, but who knows? Wow. Oh man. Ooh, wow. That was weird. Oh, jeez. Okay. So, a few things going on. Ships. These are pretty rocky looking to me. That is a moon, which is pretty cool. And I really want water. You know what I need to do? I need to go back to Kainadren and look up the class of that system, because essentially that is the type of system I'm looking for. Probably that's what I'll do next. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is head to the space station, because I want to know whether or not this is a Korvax system. Now, it could be that the shape of the space... I'm not far, am I? That the shape of the... oh, and before I do that, actually, I'm going to go to the star map and see if I can find my way back to where I was. Oh, okay. You know what? It's not letting me, and I wonder if that's partly just because I don't have a... No, look at that. It doesn't want to let me. Select nearest. You know. Alright, that's what worked last time. What I'm doing is seeing if I can find, of course. Gateway! I hate you, Gateway. Now I should be able... There you go. That's where that's what I'm talking about. Hyperdrive has no fuel. That's just fine. Okay, no worries. No worries. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. There we go. So, step one, is this a Korvax system? You know, I have a feeling these are hostile rocky worlds. I think what I need to do is go back to my Kainadren save on flash drive and head out to the map and really take a look at what type of system it is. But so far on the, you know, it looks like the research being done is still has a ways to go in terms of classifying them. Alright. Moment of truth. Everyone who comes in should be of the culture of the system. Let's see what we've got. Watch the ships as they come in. Always fun. Sometimes they just weave off at the last minute. This guy's coming in now. Okay, is this a Korvax system? It is not. Huh. It is Gek! 7 light years away. And it is a Gek system. Wow. Okay. Okay. So what that tells me is that the region cannot matter. I mean, this is the closest new system. You know, and again, when I hit closest system, it sent me up to gateway, but this is, you know, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. I don't want to explore here. I need antimatter. All right. And of course they don't have antimatter for sale, because of course not. And you know, sometimes they don't. They just don't. Alright. That is really interesting. And that means none of them should have it. That is amazing. Alright, so that basically means that whether a system is Gek or Vy'keen or Korvax is presumably just about random. Because 7 light years away. Closest system, actual closest system, not Korvax. See what the exchange rate is, and the exchange rate for bypass chips is terrible right now. Alright, I'm gonna go up. Oh, come on. Really? Ay, ay, ay. Out of practice. Heading up there. Way out of practice. God. Fun. Alright. So I'm not going to be spending much time here. But I do want to see whether, A, there is antimatter for sale here. And highway robbery. Nope. So you'd have to, once you get to a system, unless you've got a bunch of... So you basically should not head to a system until you have several antimatter saved up. Alright, we're learning things. This is good. We're learning things. I'm going to go ahead and hit one of the planets just to see... Oh, that's actually a pretty cool ship. That is a cool ship. That ship is cool. I like that. I mean, mine is... That is a cool ship. I like my ship too, of course, but... That is a cool ship. I'm a fan of these little scout ships. But this guy... nice layout in terms of the slots. The layout of the slots matters to me. It could be better, but it's not too bad. Anyway, that's a cool ship. That's a cool scout ship. Interesting. That alone would probably, you know, I guess one reason to go to a Gek system is the Gek ships. Oh, see, there are a few new things here. Not antimatter. Alright, I should really check the other merchants. Take a quick look at this guy, though. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. I love asymmetrical ships. That ship alone is almost like a reason to stay. Alright, well... what I was going to do, I was thinking, would be to first name the system so that it's clear that it's a Gex system. Come on. And hit one of the planets just to see. See, there are different things. Alright, that's hopeful. Good to know. Okay. So, here we go. Oh, wow. Ah, that's where I was. Now, I wonder if you can collapse it. Oh, see, look at this. This is the sort of thing... just makes me want to cry. Gateway? That's fine. I can deal with that. Total sponge close. Alright. Ugh. Dude. Alright. Do I report this? Or just hide it? Anyway, whatever. Alright. Let's rename this. Tammy Goro Korvax. Wadesta. Wadesta Gek. There you have it. Wadesta. Wadesta Gek. Wadesta Gek. And since this is a system with ancient Gek monoliths, we will name it in the ancient tongue. Just a Gek, alright. System of a down. Anyway. You know, I'm not sure if I'm recording. It seems like I'm having connection difficulties. Alright, we said we'd hit one planet just to get a sense of, actually, before I do that, since I have not seen one of these guys yet, I am going to check on antimatter for sale. Nice hat. Very nice hat. So this system is just universally bad for bypass chips. Alright, let's go. Is this a new guy? It is. Alright, we'll check one last time. I mean, I can imagine that the class is going to have something to do with the planets you'll find there, but I suspect it's unlikely to have anything to do with the, it can't have anything to do with the species because, and I need to make a note that this is Gek, so Wadesta Gek is the new name. I will cross through this. You know, because the one I was in was an F class, so... Alright. So I'm probably going to delete this save, but I am going to give it the good college try to find a non-horrendous world. Now, I've found from orbit that's extremely difficult to do. You cannot tell whether... To me, that is a temperate world with water. And then it comes down to, you know, what the plants... I mean, what the atmosphere is like, and what the animals are like. And you can't see a thing. This looks like an absolute barren rock. It's the closest one. Some of the huge features here, I mean, like these massive chasms. I love looking at planets from orbit. That is one of the coolest things, absolutely, about this game. You really just cannot tell a thing. Man, a lot of traffic. Of course, I am right next to the station. Oh yeah, the one with the moon. Alright, I haven't been to a moon before. So, you know, I am going to do that because I haven't been to a moon before. Both of these worlds look rocky. All of these do so far. And I'm betting that that is not an illusion. This looks like a pretty harsh system. Yeah, absolutely. My next experiment is going to be to take a look at what the planetary class of Informolocopy, I think is the name it ended up getting, the system with Kynadren, and check out one of those. But for now, we will check out a moon, because we've never been. And as is my custom, head towards the pole. Not going to take long. This also gives me a chance to practice my sort of surveying protocol. Ah, no way! Nice. Very, very nice. Could not have asked for better. Unbelievable. No, don't do that. Please land on the actual station. God. Sometimes it just lands me on the ground. Alright. And screenshot. One moment. Radioactive. Pardon the blue screen while I take the screenshot. Back. Oh, there's a crazy ship. Look at this guy. Not my style. Nice. Alright, radioactive. So, 2.5 toxicity, but radioactive. Not going to be spending much time here. Alright. Seems like this hat must be a local style. First, check these fellows for I'm just trying to figure out how common antimatter is as something that you might be able to buy sort of right off the bat. I didn't see what the sentinels were. Typical. Fauna limited, flora average. Okay. Well, this would be a world of the Zub, XUB classification for me. And checking on exchange rates. Oh, that's better at least. Nope. Nope. Not going to be that easy. Alright. Note to self. When you see antimatter, get it. So, I won't be staying, and I won't be exploring much more of this system, I don't believe. But what's interesting is I have named it, and so it should be the case. This is another thing I can kind of experiment with. It should be the case that if and when I restore my save, those are familiar from, interesting. If and when I restore my save, that data should be actually preserved. Alright, my next steps are going to be to go back to the system with Kainadren, take a look at the system class, and see if I can devise a way, you know, of pursuing those class star systems. What we really need actually is a classification system of suffixes for the worlds themselves. In a way, that's what my sort of sloppy Ikibi and Xub, etc. classification system is. So, alright, thanks for joining in, and thanks for playing. We'll see what happens from here.